So Pashada has been probably a revelation so far this year. The plan is to go to the Nunthorpe next Friday. I was extremely pleased with her in the Queen Mary, and then she compounded that in the Middleham and won very well. I think she's probably the horse to take from the meeting, I thought.
Pashada, the light blue jacket, coming home strongest of all, and she's got through and she's going to win. Pashada and Sean Levy from Adonia's hell of a spin.
It's always a hard one, the Nunthorpe. You're a 2-year-old taking on older horses, and when I say older horses, you know, some of them 6, 7, 8 years of age. They've been racing a long time and they know what they're doing. But if they go very quick, she's a speed to lay up with anything. And the way she won last time, she really is a very, very fast 2-year-old. And in my opinion, she'll take her beating in any race over 5 furlongs. And I think she'll get 6 as well. She's always shown a very bright amount of speed. I don't know how she got beat the first twice she ran. First time she was unlucky, you know, couldn't get a run. Second time, there really were no excuses, but she bumped into quite a nice filly that ended up winning a listed race. But she didn't come back moving very well. So that obviously was of concern. And then back in February, there were some shares to sell in her. So Middleham Park and Tim had an open day here. And they actually had me on camera saying, if you want a Royal Ascot filly, look no further than that filly there. She is extremely fast, and I think she can be pretty good. Well, the first twice she ran, it was all over social media, what a plonker I was. Didn't know what I was talking about, which was what it looked like. And then, obviously, someone told her about it, and she sorted herself out, and she's a little motorbike. She won the £25,000 book one bonus, which is bloody handy, I must say. When you have a winner and you go to the winner's enclosure and then you land that bombshell as well, people feel like they've had a double in 5 minutes. It's amazing. She's probably going to be a money-making machine, I would think. She's extremely talented, extremely quick, and not the sort of horse you would go to book one to buy, I have to say that. You know, but we kind of always look for one, if there's one with speed there. And, you know, we've done okay at book one, but I've got to say, if you are buying a horse that is running for your life, you probably need to be going to book one.
Mr. Ross Doyle, thank you very much indeed.
We're absolutely thrilled to have another run in the Nunthorpe after the Platinum Queen 3 or 4 years ago. It's an absolute privilege to be a syndicate member who's going to the Knaves Mile next week. And what a little superstar she's been. That Morecambe performance that she did the other day, that was in really taking fashion. The official handicap has raised her to 106, Timeform gave her 103, Racing Post gave her 109, which going into the weekend was the joint top rated 2-year-old performance of the season before Sun Goddess. So she goes there with a live chance, and Sylvester de Souza, 8 stone 2, filly's allowance. If she could go one better than the Platinum Queen, she'll be a superstar, won't she? But she already has been. You know, she's won those races, she's won over 100 grand, including the book one bonus. Bought from Tally Ho, Tattersall's, book one, 88,000 guineas. Looks a bargain now, doesn't it? Looks an absolute steal at that kind of price, and she hopefully has plenty more miles on the clock to give us fun with. Ross Doyle bought her. We probably did see her, but Ross Doyle bought her on spec with Richard, and we bought her off the shelf, literally off Richard Hannon's website, two or three days later, and the rest's history. She took a little while to get off the mark. We probably went with high expectations on debut. She went off odds on, and then she bumped into the Marygate winner on day 2. But I think coming back to the turf has really been the making of her. She sauntered up at Goodwood that day, got her book one bonus, and almost paid for herself in one day with the prize money. And then we thought we'd roll the big dice in the Queen Mary, and she nearly got the job done there. She nearly won her race on her side. Queen Mary form it's not red hot, it's white hot, isn't it? And we thought the Morecambe was a perfect fit for her. She's so quick. You know, she was clocking 40 odd and change, 44 and change in a maiden at Goodwood. Gave us the confidence to go to Ascot, and Ascot gave us the confidence to regroup back to the scene of the crime, take on the colts in the Morecambe, and she did it with aplomb, didn't she? You know, she just held up in a little bit of traffic with 2 to go, and then took off. The afterburners went on. Sean Levy, hands and heels in the end, very impressive.
Pashada and Sean Levy from Adonia's hell of a spin.
We've had success with the book one bonus in the past, and it's a huge fillip, it's a huge reward for people on our kind of budget, you know, if you're spending hundreds of thousands of pounds, 25 grand is useful, but it's not essential. But when you're spending 80,000, or we operate in that middle market, when you're spending between 40 and 100,000, which is typically us, it's a huge chunk back, isn't it?